All right, so we're back with another video today on unboxing, and he's going to try it out, something I've been testing out, which is the Atari Gamestation Go, which Atari is important to my life, and maybe not to yours, because you probably never had an Atari, did you?
Not until now.
Not until now. My first video game system was an Atari 2600,
Okay.
which was some of the games that you'll actually see on the Atari Gamestation Go. The Gamestation Go is made by My Arcade for Atari, and it's about $180 right now, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Over 200 games available in the system without needing to download or anything like that. So a pretty cool setup. I want to see what you think as a gamer who's used to consoles and not necessarily, you don't do as much handheld. Never really did.
I did the PS Vita. That's about it.
PS Vita.
It was like 10 years ago.
Okay. All right. So Atari has got up with this earlier this year. This became available. It's been on sale for a few months now. Again, made by My Arcade for Atari. I'm not sure exactly about all the particulars of that. This does include Pac-Man, as it says right here. So that's one of the highlights of it. We'll open up the top here.
That's cool.
And you have Asteroids, Berserk, Breakout, Centipede, Missile Command.
Balls of Steel.
Balls of Steel, which you don't know. Missile Command is also in here. Recharge, Mutation, which I'm not familiar with. Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man, probably one of my first video games of all time, and more of the classic, newer version of Pac-Man. Bases Loaded Baseball.
Wow.
Which I loved. And some very old Atari 2600
As
games.
iRobot. Well, like Robot.
Robot.
We're reviewing an iRobot next video.
We are?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Thought maybe he knew something I did. And it says Atari 2600 games, Atari 5200 games, Atari 7800, M Network. I don't know what that is. Atari Arcade, Atari Recharge, 7 pinball games from Balls of Steel, several versions of Pac-Man, the Jaleco 8-bit, 16-bit arcade, Pico, and Pico Arcade. So this is a lot of retro game for $180. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing.
It's a lot of games.
A lot of games. So, all right, so here's what you get. Here is the console with the 7-inch screen. You get some information coming December 2025. They've got some other things coming out. Those are probably already out. Some Wi-Fi instructions. Now, I did think it was pretty cool. I have not used it. Can plug it into HDMI.
So it can go onto the...
So this can go right into your TV.
But you would still have to use this thing?
Yeah, well, I think
I wonder,
you can use these, these remotes.
I think that's what they're going, yep.
So it shows you can use, and this is the gamepad. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that really well, but this is the gamepad.
Hold on, watch this, everybody.
Oh, he loves to show the...
We got a camera on the roof. Well, it's not on the roof, but it's
his favorite thing. It's going to happen in every video.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at
so that was my favorite controller, this version right here. I love the gamepad. They're calling it the Gamestation Arcade Stick. So that they also have a gamepad version. It's a little smaller than what I was used to. But yes, you can use HDMI out from this to your TV. I think that's pretty cool. Also, for only $180. I'm going to go back to the price a lot on this for what you get. Power is here as well.
What did an Atari cost? What did an Atari
26? Yeah, probably about 300, I'm guessing. I'd have to look at some old ads.
So this is a rare case if you're getting something that's considerably better.
Yeah, when they first came out, they were pretty expensive.
Because the PS5 right now is about $450, $500. Right.
But people have this misconception, of, especially younger people like you, that everything's more expensive now. But my first computer was like $4,000.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do much with it.
Yeah.
But computers were really expensive. Arcade systems were really expensive when they first came out. So they weren't super cheap. This does have a USB power cord, although I have never used this. I've only used the built-in USB-C charger here, which is fine. There's some more accessories. Collect them all. I think they give you a certificate of authenticity from My Arcade, which is interesting.
From themselves.
Well, which is cool. I think these come with a lot of some of the older game systems as well. And this talks about just the games that it comes with. Now,
good packaging.
It is good packaging. It's great that it comes with all of these things. It's great that it comes right out of the box with HDMI. I think that's actually a pretty cool feature. And I have not used the HDMI. I've only used it handheld, and I've only charged it by USB-C. But I want to show you a few other things on here. Micro SD, you actually can bring in more games or save some content, which is very cool. Headphone, although there are speakers, there is a headphone jack as well. And the batteries are not accessible because it is rechargeable. And I'm going to have you test
But it still
out.
has a fake battery thing.
It does have a little bit of a fake
It's
battery.
a common theme in our
We
videos.
saw that with the FIO Snow Sky. They had that as well. So we'll let that start up here for a second, and I'll have Nick try it out. I will say that for somebody who grew up with these games, they're obviously very different than modern games. They maybe don't hold your attention for as long. Maybe for some people they do.
Is this going to be copyright? Are we going to get copyrighted by the Atari?
It's a good question.
The Atari people?
I don't know about that. All right.
If you never see us again, we were taken off the internet by Atari.
Well, or leaf blowers.
Yeah, the leaf blow. These people have stopped leaf blowing for the past 3 hours after, if you watched our last video,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you didn't because the audio is terrible because the leaf blower, they're back. And now we're getting copyrighted by Atari.
We won't get copyright for this. We won't show much of the gameplay. I think we can actually show some.
No, I mean the audio.
Oh, the audio.
They're going to hear their music
Maybe.
and say, you know what?
I'll edit that out. All right. So here's where you select Atari Recharge, Atari, or just straight to Pac-Man because it highlights Pac-Man.
So these are systems, and then Balls of Steel and Pac-Man are games.
yeah,
Balls of Steel is a series.
several series of pinball. So let's go into the Atari for a minute.
See, like this is okay. So I had also used this a little bit before. This, once you get to this, like whereas PlayStations and Xboxes, they're pretty simple. Like once you turn them on, it's like you click 2 buttons and you're in the game. Here, there's a lot of stuff being said to me,
Yeah.
and rather than just like click this button to start playing the game.
Yeah. It's an emulator system, though, so there's a lot built into it. So it is a little bit more complicated. I don't find it to be too bad.
I don't think it's bad. I'm just saying that I think there's a little bit of it's different.
Yeah. So Atari 2600, see if you can see this up here, shows you the games, which were very basic. Nick has probably never seen games like this. Look, it was just math, basic math.
Basic math.
Actually, I don't remember that one. It was actually called Basic Math.
The video game.
Yeah, maybe we need more of that. Berserk, which obviously is super, just iconic. There's a football game.
There's a lot of games on here.
A lot of games. I wasn't a big 5200 player. I do love some of the Atari
There's
7800.
considerably less games on these two.
Yeah. And then Atari Arcade, which would be similar to the version of the game that you would actually play in the arcade.
It's cool.
Which I think is very cool. That's a little bit unique. I haven't seen as much of that.
And it has like the actual picture. Hold on, I'm about to show you all.
Oh, yeah. He loves showing the people in the sailing.
And the way I see this in our high-tech studio is actually upside down. So I'm like showing you all it upside down. So I'm like moving it weird. So do you guys see
Hopefully they won't see it upside down.
right here? Hold on. Yep, right there. There's like an arcade machine. So
You like that.
It's
You like
cool.
that.
It's a good
It is
detail.
cool. I do think it's a good detail.
It's a great detail.
So lots of games
Really is.
built in and multiplayer ability, which I have not done yet, but there is actually multiplayer.
there's like with other people or local? Like local, I mean like
local with other remotes.
people
I don't think there's online play.
Right.
If there is, then I'm not sure. But I
That'd be
didn't
pretty
think
impressive.
there was on this system. So I'm actually going to turn the volume down because now you got me thinking we should.
I think we are.
Okay. I will tell you a little bit about what I think of it. Here's baseball. This is the last one I was playing, which was Atari 5200 Baseball, which I loved. This was one of my favorite games. So we're both big baseball guys. Nick plays in college. I'm a big baseball fan, always have been. This was probably one of my first baseball games that I loved. And, it is as old school retro game
This
as
is
they
not
come.
MLB The Show.
This is not MLB The Show, but it is it. It's the classic version that I grew up on, and
You struck out on 3
I did
pitches.
strike out. I might. I don't even remember how to swing right now. But they really stayed true to it. I think they did a great job on here.
What? I didn't even click a button.
Maybe we're not. We might not even be in a game. This might just be a demo. I don't even know if I turned it into a game.
All right.
So a little bit about the controllers itself. Very good. I like the size of this. I like the controllers. I like the pads. There is a number pad here for some of the games that I have not tried yet, but there are some games that use that. Sound is pretty good. I have the sound down right now, but the built-in sound without the headphones is actually really good.
Sounds good in the headphones.
Yeah, sounds good in the headphones. Triggers in the back. I cannot say how this to me is a Hall of Fame.
Hall of Famer.
This
This
is-
is our first.
this is
This is
my
the
first Hall of
inaugural
Fame, yeah.
Hall of Famer.
So we've had a couple of 9 out of 10s in some of our reviews. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. This to me, as somebody who grew up with these, is kind of what I always wanted. Back then, I didn't always want to be sitting in my living room. I wanted to be able to take this with me, right? Like a lot of the modern consoles, like the Nintendo Switch. This has the feel and size of like the Nintendo Switch with the retro games. I love it. I love everything about it. I love all of the features of it. I love the games that are built in. I do want to try some of the accessory game pads because I think that might even be more my style, having those.
Especially
I
to
love
put
those.
it on the TV.
Then you could put it on the TV. But this will start to come with me. It's a little big for my backpack, but if I was traveling, I would
I
take
mean,
this
if you're
with me.
carrying the portable charger.
Oh, the portable chargers in our other video.
Yeah.
So this is a Hall of Fame, and for $180 for that many games, and to be able to do it not only handheld but also on the TV, absolute Hall of Fame for me. I think this should be a winner for Atari. I don't know how well it's selling. I don't know about the details of it, but to me, this is the perfect gift. It's a perfect gift for a young gamer and an adult gamer. And I want to see what you think as somebody who's definitely more into the PS4, PS5 world.
Okay, so
All right, so Nick is trying out, I think, is this Fatal Run?
Fatal Run.
Fatal Run.
whoa. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. So Fatal Run was from, I'm not familiar with that one. What game system did it say? Was it 7800? Yes. Atari 7800. So I think it's cool that you're playing that. Let's see, when was Atari 7800 release date? So May was announced in 84. It does say it was released in 86. So I'm not sure. Yeah.
Whoa, I
announced
just
in
blew
84.
up the two cars in front of me.
Yeah. So this game came out in 1986. Well, test market says 84. So between 84 and 86. So I was between
You were like 6.
6 or 7 years old. This was games, man. This was it. This was what we spent it. I can tell he likes it though. He's already he likes it for a 20.
I don't know what's happening on the screen. It's not. This isn't exactly 4K,
No, it's not 4K.
and I don't know what I'm doing if I'm like driving away from. Oh, I just blew somebody up.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that drift.
Well, it's Fatal Run. It's not just a regular race. I don't remember.
Nobody's running though. We're driving.
Well, a run could be a race, you know. So tell me what you think of the system itself. Not so much about the game, because I know, the game is what it is from an Atari 7800, but the controls, the feel, the size, the screen.
I think it's taking the right inspiration from the Nintendo Switch and being a medium-sized handheld. I thought that growing up, like the PS Vita was pretty small. I think this one right here is actually a decent size, and I like how you can also put it on the TV. Is that something you could do back then, or was it never a handheld and it was just
Never
on the TV?
handheld.
Okay.
None of these systems that are built in were handhelds that I know of. So no, they were all TV. You plug them into your TV, and none of them were handheld. My first handheld of all was the Game Boy, the original black and white Game Boy. So that was my first handheld that I ever had. It was about $100. I remember when and where I got it, and it was black and white screen. Very small, much smaller screen, but that was our first handheld. This would have been the future for sure back then if this was a handheld that we had. So what about the feel of the controls and all of that for someone who's used to some pretty new, pretty high-end video game stuff?
I think that the way that it's handling itself is pretty good. It definitely feels like it's premium. I would expect it to be premium still. If you're paying $180, I think it still should be nice. Like, I know it's not necessarily the same price as a PS5, but it's about.
Yeah, and just so you know, like a Nintendo Switch, original Switch, is still $350. A Nintendo
so
Switch
for it
2
being
is
about-
$500.
Yeah, for it being about half the price as a Switch, I think that it does a good job of still feeling premium.
I will say that some people online commented 180 was still too high.
Okay. I think that like 150, 150 is the price that I think it could be that people wouldn't complain about it. Like, I think if it was like $150, you know,
You just think that's
like,
the price for
I
it?
think that's the price, because at $180, you're going to find people saying like, well, it's just kind of a throwback type of thing. Like, I don't necessarily see myself as using this like every day. I kind of see it as a nostalgia type of thing.
Which for me it is too. It'd probably be 150 next year, right? This just has only been out, I think, since September or so.
Yeah.
So for the first holiday
But I don't hate
season-
the price of it.
No, I don't either. Again, if it was one of those ones with 50 games, there's a lot of, you probably have seen like on Instagram, you'll see an ad for some retro handheld, really kind of weird, you know, who knows who made it, where it came from. It's an emulator. For what you get here, those typically run like 70, 80 bucks. Yes, this is more.
Yeah, but you know
you
what
get
you're
a
getting.
bigger screen, you're getting Atari, you're getting all the games that it shows you here. You're getting USB-C charging, you're getting HDMI out. So we did pause for a minute. Leaf blower back. Just every video is going to
They hate us. And we still have leaves. We really do. We still.
Yeah, they're not at our house, so don't
No.
think we have the leaf blowing going on. But I just think
I give the leaf blowers a 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
And this gets
Hall
a
of-
10 out of 10.
Hall of Shame.
Hall of shame for the leaf blowers.
I watch a YouTuber, a daily vlogger called Adam the Woo. You've seen Adam the Woo. Adam always talks about all his videos. Somehow a leaf blower shows up. Apparently that's going to be our thing.
I am your glory days the woo.
Yeah, your glory did. All right. So I gave this Hall of Fame status, our first Hall of Fame. I love it. I love everything about it. I really don't have any negatives at this point. I haven't found one yet after using it for a while. What do you give your rating?
I'm going to give it a 9.5, and I think it would be a 10 out of 10 for me as well if the price was at $140, $150. I think that everything is great. I think that 180 is like just a touch steep. I kind of agree with what some people are saying for what you get. But what you do get is a very high quality piece that's going to bring back a lot of memories for people who are twice my age. So if you are 40 years old or higher, or want to check out something that people twice your age like, this is great. And I think it's great for everybody.
Yeah.
The leaf blowers have stopped
The leaf blowers will
temporarily.
stop temporarily, yeah. I think it's good for kids too. I think some of the games they probably would, maybe not the math.
I just think some of the games would be a little simple.
Yeah, they're not what they're used
which
to.
isn't a bad thing.
All right. So we will put the link to this in the description. Atari does not sponsor us.
Not yet.
Not yet. He said, just like Hot Wheels, we're still waiting for that. We do get a small commission if you use that link. It doesn't cost you any more, but it helps us buy more things that we'll be doing on the channel.
Yep.
And no leaf sound. This is the second video in a row.
Wait.
No, they stopped.
No,
they're back.
They're back.
Yeah.
Yep.
They usually stop once the videos are done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. All right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Yeah. Buy it.